Hey, everybody, and welcome to this private session that I'm getting ready to do with Michelle White and Tabitha Kane from the Inspired Wellness podcast, which I had the pleasure of just being a guest on. So we were chatting a little bit, and it sounds like maybe doing some tapping on nervousness, anxiousness, overwhelm, that kind of thing might be the most helpful for you guys today. Would you say that's what we're looking at?
That is correct.
Please.
Unfortunately, yes.
That's all right. I think that's something that everybody has a little bit of. So let's get a little bit of background information and then we can dial in because EFT loves specificity. So the more that I can kind of hear about how this affects you on a day-to-day basis, then the better we can resolve some of it in a tapping session. So I know you were talking a little bit about it, Tab. Would you like to share a little bit about how it shows up for you?
Yes, sure. So as I have aged and as my children have aged, I have found myself getting more anxious or worried, especially having a teenager and now almost three teenagers. They get more freedom. I get more anxious. And so daily I've talked to Michelle about this a lot. There was a point where I was, looking at Live 360 almost every single second of every day. And this stuff that it is terrible for my nervous system, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. I think Michelle doesn't have a driver yet, but she's on her way to have a driver. And
Really close. So I think I'm going to be there. Yeah.
I saw my second oldest son turn 16 tomorrow. So we have another driver coming also. But yeah, I get it. I get it. So that's a great example too of like tuning into Life 360 and kind of noticing how that's affecting your nervous system. Would you say that most of the things that make you anxious revolve around the kids, or are there other things where you notice it?
Money always makes me anxious. That's something that probably stems from childhood because I grew up without a lot or any money. And so that's just been something that, I've always been anxious about. And then just relationships in general, especially in the town we live in. I feel like it's a lot of stay-at-home moms, and there's a lot of like kind of just childish women things going on that you can get caught up in if you want.
Okay. Does that prevent you from having relationships? Or does that make you anxious about kind of relating with the people that are
I think it
close?
just makes me guarded.
Okay. Okay. And then Michelle, how does it show up for you? Whether it's anxiousness, nervousness, overwhelm, what is it?
For me, I think you hit it on the overwhelm. I feel in how it shows up is I think I've got everything under control. But then people are constantly telling me like, relax, stop thinking. I'm always thinking like 5 steps ahead. I've always got to plan out everything that's going to happen until that 5th, 6th, 7th step. And if something goes awry, then it kind of throws off my whole world and I feel like I'm out of control. Like I have to be very controlled. I'm very type A. I'm very organized, which can be a great thing. But then if something goes off plan, it's just, ruin. And I get real stressed and anxious about it.
Okay. And does it feel like a lot of things are like on your shoulders to take care of?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. How many kids do you have, if you don't mind me asking?
So I'm the lightweight here. I only have 2. But my husband, who's very supportive, he works out of the house. So he's in a different town. So I'm doing a lot here as well as, juggling all the jobs that we juggle as women entrepreneurs and moms and, doing the stay-at-home mom thing and the work thing. So it's just a lot.
Okay. And when you guys feel either anxious, nervous, or overwhelmed, is there a place in your body that you feel it?
My chest.
Yeah.
Mine is kind of in my head. Like I feel like it's like my upper body. I know a lot of people get like stomach feeling and all that. Mine is more like from my chest up.
Okay. All right. Anything else that makes you feel nervous or overwhelmed right now? Any other like specific examples of things or things that are presently like even on your mind, just like today?
Today, well, like Michelle said, she's type A and I am not. And so I spend my time worrying about the things that I have procrastinated to do, such as book spring break, which is like next week. So that is one thing that I'm panicking because I waited to the last minute.
Okay, that makes total sense. All right, so we want to rate intensity. This is always an important part of doing EFT tapping. We like to kind of feel how intense something is at the beginning, and then we can rate it again at the end, but don't get too caught up in it. It's just a number. So I think the shared theme here that I'm seeing is like my nervous system feels responsible for keeping everything under control with both of you. I mean, even with type A or type B, like kind of there's this feeling of that. So I'd love for each of you to kind of like quickly check in and like when you think about the pressure of having to keep everything together or make sure that nothing goes wrong on a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is, it's not a problem at all, and 10 is pretty intense, how intense does that feel right now?
I'm probably at a 7 today.
I am too.
Okay, perfect. So you're both at a 7. I'm just going to note that. And all right, cool. So what we're going to do now is the actual round of tapping. So I am going to tap a point. We're going to start on the side of the hand. You're going to tap the same point. I'm going to say a phrase. You're going to say it back. And I know Michelle was going to mute and Tabitha's going to mirror back here so it doesn't get too confusing on the audio. And then we'll talk about it when we're done and just see. And if there's something that you want to add or I don't get something right, please help to correct me. I've obviously taken a very small intake here and I'm going to do my best to kind of translate this into a round of tapping that should hopefully bring that 7 down a little bit for both of you. So here we go. Just start with a nice deep inhale through the nose. Just feeling yourself present, sitting where you're sitting. All right. Even though part of my nervous system feels responsible for keeping things under control.
Oh, I say that back to you.
You're going to say that back to
me. Okay, can you say it again? Sorry.
No problem. Even though part of my nervous system feels responsible for keeping things under control. I acknowledge how much pressure I've been carrying. Even though my brain is constantly scanning ahead, trying to prevent problems.
And trying to solve problems.
Or trying to catch up on the things that I've been procrastinating on. I honor how hard it's been to work to protect myself. And even though sometimes it feels like if I relax, something might go wrong.
And even though, sorry.
I feel, okay. Even though I feel like if I relax. Something might go wrong. I'm open to giving my nervous system a little more breathing room. Top of the head and start moving through some other points. This pressure to keep everything under control. My brain is always looking 5 steps ahead. Trying to make sure nothing goes wrong. Carrying a lot of responsibility. Trying to hold everything together. My nervous system is working overtime. Watching, planning, anticipating. No wonder I feel tense and anxious. part of my brain learned to be very alert.
Part of my brain learns to be very alert.
It thinks that vigilance or hypervigilance keeps everyone safe.
It thinks that vigilance or hypervigilance keeps everyone safe.
Maybe this is a pattern that helped me at some point.
Maybe this is a pattern that helped me at some point.
Trying to prevent problems before they happen.
Trying to prevent problems before they happen.
Trying to protect the people I care about.
Trying to protect the people I care about.
And trying to just stay ahead on everything.
And trying to stay ahead on everything.
But carrying all of this pressure is exhausting.
But carrying all this pressure is exhausting.
And it makes my nervous system work harder than it needs to.
And it makes my nervous system work harder than it needs to.
Maybe I don't have to carry it all alone.
Maybe I don't have to carry it all alone.
Maybe everything doesn't depend on me.
Maybe everything doesn't depend on me.
Just opening up to the idea that I can let my body relax a little bit.
Opening up to let my body relax a little bit.
Just letting myself breathe.
Letting myself breathe.
Giving myself permission to relax.
Giving myself permission to relax.
Trusting that I can handle what comes next.
Trusting that I can handle what comes next.
Without constantly bracing for it.
Without constantly bracing for it.
Just allowing myself a little more ease right now.
Allowing myself just a little more ease right now.
Another nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale. If you feel an urge to stretch or even yawn, yawning is always like so okay with EFT practitioners because it means that energy blockages are moving. Everybody, good. I see you, Michelle. I acknowledge that amazing yawn. That is something just letting itself go. And that's perfect. I know people are always trying, especially on videos, to like not show a yawn or be, I'm not really yawning. But it's actually a really good thing. So when you're thinking now about the pressure that you feel, the nervousness, the anxiousness, the feeling of needing to stay on top of everything, overwhelm maybe. Where does that number feel like it is now from 0 to 10?
It definitely feels less than it did. I like that we just gave ourselves a massage, which was really nice. And then I love what you also said. So it definitely came down. I will say that mine is probably just like, low, like a 4.
Yeah.
Great.
I was thinking 3 or 4.
Perfect.
Definitely.
And that's amazing because like any shift in what was it, like 5 minutes or something, like to cut that number in half. And then like if I was in a session with you and we were working together in a client relationship, we'd be looking at like what's left and what's next and examining like the really specific patterns. I kept that a little bit more general because I recognize our audiences are going to be listening to it and I want everybody to be able to experience a shift. But like if I was dialing in more on like what you said, Tab, or what you said, Michelle, we would be actually like talking about like the teenagers, the driving, the hypervigilance around their safety, the checking of the app, the way that's spiking the stress. We would be, talking about everything that you're trying to manage at home, Michelle, and everything that, you feel responsible for that, that you feel like you need to stay on top of as a type A personality and, having a high desire for control. And kind of how all of that translates. So there's a lot deeper places that we can go with this that resolve patterns. But I love being able to show people like what can happen in just a few minutes, just with your perspective and your feeling, because all that really matters is how you feel in the present moment. You can't feel anything in any other moment. So when you can change the way that you feel that drastically in just a few minutes time, then you imagine it's super effective on things like headaches, backaches, like physical symptoms and things too. There's so many possibilities. So what was your experience like tapping on that, Michelle? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tab. You want to say something?
I was going to say, when you said like releasing like the bracing yourself for what is to come, I think that is where I am always bracing myself for, what's to come, which is most likely nothing, right? Like, so that's just a stress that doesn't need to be even with me.
Yeah.
So that, when you said
Even,
that, and like it
what,
really released.
even if something did happen that you were anticipating, would it have helped you to have anticipated, or would
No.
have just been more time spent feeling miserable or worried or whatever else? Like you could be in a better nervous system place with greater capacity to handle the things that happen from a place of calm.
Yeah.
So yeah, beautiful. It's great awareness. And how was that for you, Michelle?
It was good. And what you said that really spoke to me right then was how you feel in the current moment, because you can only control that. You can't control how you felt, 5 minutes ago, or how you're going to feel in an hour, and you can't control what's going to happen 5 minutes ago or what's going to happen in an hour. So that is really something I struggle with, and it takes away my ability to be present. So that the tapping, I think, touching myself and reminding myself I'm here, I'm right here, this is now, just brought me back into the present moment, and was able to focus on that, subconsciously on my nervous system, I think.
That's awesome. I'm really happy that you experienced that. That was one of the things that really connected me with tapping in the first place, was that presence that was restored. It was like when I first started doing it, and I worked a lot in the beginning on myself, on parenting type things. I had very young children at the time, and I was squeezing my work into the crack of the day. And there was a lot of like scarcity beliefs and mindset and frustration and things happening for me. And learning how to restore that presence, it was like I never had realized how not present I was until I created true presence. And then it was like, wow, and then also realizing that you literally can't use your power anywhere but right here. But so many of us are leaking power to past things that happened that we're still allowing to, dilute our power. We're leaking our power to the thing we're worried about happening tomorrow and future pacing with anxiety. And we can't use it in either of those places, but we're taking away from what we have to offer right here. So yeah, great awareness with that. Thank you both so much for tapping with me. Did you have any questions before we wrapped up this private session?
Oh, this was awesome.
No, I'm sure I'll think of a million questions afterwards, but I definitely want to connect with you outside of this. So I'm excited about that.
Absolutely. So for anybody listening to this that wants to connect with Tab or with Michelle, what's the best way to reach you guys?
So our podcast is Inspired Wellness Podcast. You can check us out there. We focus a lot on women's health, especially in midlife and perimenopause, menopause. And so you can catch us there. I am on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok at The Inspired Wellness Coach, and my website is theinspiredwellnesscoach.com. People can connect with me there, schedule a 20-minute discovery call, or email me at Michelle, Michelle, at theinspiredwellnesscoach.com.
Awesome. What about you, Tab?
I am with Michelle. So whatever email, if you email her, I can get that also. But you can also find me on Instagram at Tab the Housewife.
Ooh, I love it. Cool. And for anybody that wants to let me know how this went for them, you can always shoot me an email, Teresa@teresalearlevine.com. I love hearing about the shifts and the stories, what you worked on, all that kind of stuff. I geek out on it. So feel free to send me a message and connect, or you can comment wherever you happen to be, watching this too, if there's the ability to do that. So thank you all for tapping along with me. And until next time.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa.